Everyone, welcome back. I'm wearing my Ducat out of solidarity. I apologize to the one UNC fan who commented on the UNC hat last time, but I'm actually not a UNC fan. I'm much more of a Duke fan. And I'm wearing this because we're hate watching UNC because they made the tournament when West Virginia should have. Shout out Will. I know you're a West Virginia fan. You got robbed. I apologize. But yeah, let's get right into it. Roster changes because you're here for Rocket League, not my commentary on the NCAA basketball tournament. March 12th. Let's start with that. Two big pieces of news. The first one being Vision Esports signing Mtzr, Tom, and SMW. A lot of you will recognize SMW from his time on Twisted Minds last year. Mtzr actually was on Twisted Minds as well. Tom has been around MENA for a bit. He might have made World's Wildcard in 2022. I'm drawing a blank on if that actually happened or not. It probably did. Most notably, this was your MTS squad. But it was Suspect instead of SMW. So they were orgless before. They were playing the first split, Mtzr, Tom, and Suspect. Now for Saudi eLeague, they have signed, Vision has signed them with Mtzr, Tom, and SMW. So I'm expecting this is going to be your trio for RLCS heading into the next split. And honestly, that's really not a bad squad. So should be like a MENA 3-4. I think it's stronger with SMW than Suspect, but I also don't watch MENA the closest, so I might not know ball. The next one, Team SOS. This is a new team, kind of-ish, forming in North America. It's with Druee, Life, and Plexii. Reason I bring this up is because Druee and Life made the second Open of this year. Life is that former Switch player who, the community was able to come together, buy him a PC, qualified for his first event this year. These two were on WASSUP together, so they do still have the RLCS point technically. But I've said that the cutoff for teams that I want to talk about in these videos is like if you've made an RLCS event or made like a top 16 in North America or Europe, you're going to be on this list. Boom. They did that. They're on the list. March 13th, Yukeo announces that he's looking for a new team in Europe. He was playing in South America for the first split, was on a team called either Shaman Esports or Moonrise, depending on which event you were paying attention to them for. They made one top 8 under the Shaman banner. It might have been a top 6 for that matter. But apparently the stint in South America was only going to last one split. Seemed pretty apparent that he was headed back to Europe after that. So he's now looking for a team in Europe. The one stipulation, apparently, and credit to Yukeo for reading the rules better than maybe anyone else, really, because I certainly didn't know this. He has to join a team with points. So because he is an international transfer coming from South America, playing in the RLCS in South America and going into Europe, he needs to be joining a team with RLCS points in order to play the split. So, there's about 20 teams with points in Europe. There's plenty that will be making roster changes, but I'm guessing you're going to have to join a 2/3 team. So, hopefully he gets a spot on one of those. Would kind of suck to not see him be able to play at all. But that's the situation that Yukeo's in. Bit of a break for the weekend. March 15th comes along. And our next report about Gentlemates comes out. Not really super anything official. But Mtzr is also being considered for the Gentlemates spot. As we know, the situation as of now is Seiko is deciding whether or not he wants to keep Juicy and Radosin, or Juicy or Radosin, sorry, and he's going to bring in a new third. It's basically Seiko's back to being the general manager again for all reports that we've seen. So it's a matter of, is Juicy staying or is Radosin staying? And then who's the new third? First report was Eugen. Second report is that Mtzr is also being considered. So not quite sure who the third is going to be. Assume they're going to be French. Assume anyone on this roster, if Seiko is in charge, is going to be French. So just want to add that to the watch list. Another 2 days past, March 17th. This is an exciting one, actually, out of OCE. Power is keeping Gus, and they're signing Caleb and Lunr. So Caleb and Lunr are 2/3 of that Scrimzworld roster that actually won Open 2. They're currently placed 3rd in points for OCE. They're sitting with 25 points. For reference, Chiefs have 27 and TSM have 24. This is pre-major points, so Chiefs are guaranteed to earn more points. They'll go up to at least 30, I believe. But that Scrimzworld duo, like Caleb and Lunr together, holding those 25 points, are in a prime spot to try to make a push for World Championship, actually. So Power really jumping on this opportunity, keeping what they believe is their best player in Gus, getting them to sign with Caleb and Lunr. Laxton already announced that he was looking for a new team, so that part doesn't surprise or these two sticking together doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So Power could be working themselves back in the conversation as an organization, which I think is pretty cool to see. The other organization rumored to make a move is Shopify Rebellion. And this is a really, really interesting case. We saw this debate kind of unfold on Twitter over the past 48 hours? It's still March 18th, 24 hours. They're looking to make a change. The situation is much more complicated than just that, though. All of the players on Rebellion have been allowed to explore their options. The organization might leave Rocket League, which I think would be a massive shame. They put on multiple tournaments. They've signed CJ as a content creator. I believe they also technically have Rizzo, if he's still under like the former Moist and joined with, because Moist and Rebellion merged. I think he might be part of it as well. So it would really suck to see an org that has invested so heavily into Rocket League leave because of sustainability issues. Because they're considering leaving, all the players are allowed to explore their options. In terms of what we're going to see on the pitch, looks like as of now, Two Piece and Paarth are probably looking to stick together as a duo. So that would mean Jstn might be on the out. Again, this situation could change 10 different times. There's a non-zero chance that they stick as all three. There's a non-zero chance that they split. There's a non-zero chance that that's not the duo anymore. So either way, there's news out of the Rebellion camp. So that's the summary of what we know, and I know I'll be talking about them more later in the transfer window. Then March 18th, earlier this morning, Lunatic steps down from the Kinotrope roster. Homie put out a tweet clarifying that it does sound like he's going to focus more on personal stuff outside of esports. I believe that was the phrasing he used. So at least to me, that sounds like at the bare minimum of a temporary retirement. Kinotrope is the roster of Realize, Furlash, and Lunatic. And these guys have actually been really taking off in viewership because a popular Japanese streamer hosted a Rocket League tournament. A lot of Japan has gotten really into Rocket League recently. They're pulling numbers in the six figures in terms of concurrent viewers. It's absolutely crazy. So because of that, there's been a lot of new Japanese fans following the Kinotrope roster because they're the best roster that is in APAC fully Japanese right now. So Lunatic looks to be on the out. I'm curious to see who they bring in. It'd be cool from the Japanese perspective, especially if they get another Japanese player. I don't know if they would go for an import. This doesn't feel like a team that necessarily would go for an import, but maybe it makes them slightly more competitive. And I think, honestly, if they can get slightly more competitive with this move, that would be massive because with that influx of viewership, I would love to see the success come with it and more long-term fans found. So definitely worth shouting out Kinotrope on this roster moves board. But that's all we got for this week. Honestly, relatively busy week. So there were also the Saudi eLeagues happening this week. Online, play. Top 6 end up making the first major. So for those who are following along with that finished up today. But in terms of the moves, this is what we got. I know I'll hit you guys back soon with this. Yes, the rankings are coming out soon. We have sat down and recorded them. I'm hoping to get them out on Friday. You'll be seeing this video. It's coming out on Wednesday. So hoping to do the ranking show. That'll be first, coming out on Friday. Fingers crossed. The short, video going over every single rank and like where the aggregate ends up, it would be coming out on Saturday. And then I've got major predictions coming out on either Sunday or Monday. So a lot of videos as we head into Birmingham. A lot of hype. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching so far, and I'll catch you guys next time.